everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing like a review, first impressions on the Sigma new collection Steady Glow. Now this collection was released on Monday the 25th. I'm not quite sure what day this video is going to go up, but all the products will be online, so I will leave a link down below if you're interested in any of them, and then I will be leaving the prices of the products on the screen. So I thought it would be fun to, I've swatched some of the products, but I haven't tried any of them on my face. I just got this in, so I thought it would be fun to sit down and film a video and really give almost like a first impressions of how some of the products perform. Now some of these are newer products to their collection, like completely new formulations, and then some are things that they have come out with before, like an eyeshadow palette, lip glosses, and eyeliners. So this is the collection right here, and it comes with an eyeshadow palette. And I have the other two palettes here to compare. They've released prior. So you can kind of see like a little bit of a comparison between them. It comes with 5 pigments down here, and then 5 lip glosses, and 3 like nude and white like liners for your waterline liners, which I'm really excited about because I always love a good liner. And then 3 of these, like, they're called shimmer creams, so they're in like bronzy neutral colors. What I love about this is it's called Sultry Glow. It's really nude, neutral, peachy, glowy products, and I love the color scheme of this collection. So I'm just gonna kind of get started and go through some of the products, and I'll show it one by one. So the eyeshadow palette comes like this, and it's the same size as the previous eyeshadow palettes that have been released. It comes with 12 shadows, and this is the new palette. This one's called Brilliant and Spellbinding. And on the back, it shows the name of the shades and like a color scheme. So there's no confusion of if it's like if it's straight through to the next shade. It tells you exactly with like a color scheme. But this leaves it to no confusion because it kind of shows you the color scheme. So right off the bat, I was really excited about this palette because I've loved the previous palettes from Sigma that they've released. I find the shadows incredibly creamy and smooth. So I was really excited when I saw this because it's a lot of neutrals with a really nice like punchy pink color and a really nice mustardy matte brown color. I love the pigmentation and like the creaminess of Sigma eyeshadows. Like look at that right there. That color is called Sensational. And it's like almost like, oh, I mean, it just swatches so beautifully. That was just one little swatch. And that is like a camely, mustardy brown shade. I love that. I mean, but you saw that. It was like such buttery, creamy pigmentation. They just blend out so well. So I was really excited to see some really interesting colors to me. I did want to show you in comparison because a lot of people, when I first posted this, were like, oh, that looks a lot like the Warm Neutrals palette. So this was the first palette that Sigma released, the Warm Neutrals palette. And it's a lot of rosy shades, as you can see. This is a little bit different. This is more of, as you can see, it's not as rosy as this is. There are still those warm shades, but it does have more of like yellow undertones to it with like the mustardy color and the orange. So they're not really that similar. There might be 1 to 2 shades that are sort of similar. But if you were someone who had the Warm Neutrals palette and you were wondering if it was worth it to get the new palette, just by first glance, I do believe so. Then the Smoke Screen palette was the second palette that Sigma released, and I just wanted to quickly show you that one. That has a lot more cooler shades. So again, there might be 1 shade that is very similar, but for the most part, this is very, very cool. It has more of a purple mauve-y undertone, and I don't see that at all in this palette. So again, they're very different from the previous 2 palettes, but let's just get into this palette, and I'm going to start applying some of the colors on my eyes, and I'll swatch as I go. I already primed my eye with Urban Decay's Primer Potion in Eden, so any just plain neutral base will do. I'm going to go into this color right here, and this one is called Balmy, and let me just swatch that for you. It is a matte, almost as like a mauve-y matte brown shade. I'm going to use the E59 wide shader from Sigma, and I'm just going to press that. Okay, so it puts on the lid. It looks like just a nice warm brown shade. that has a little bit of a rosy mauve-y hint to it. Just a really nice, basically like warm brown shade. Put that all over the lid. I really like the way that this eyeshadow packs on. It's got a lot of pigment to it. It's not that powdery, but it really lays the color down on the eye. So these shades are very consistent from what I've seen from palette to palette with their matte shades. They've always really impressed me. So now I'm just gonna blend that out. I'm gonna use just an E25 brush and just kind of go and blend that out. This is a Sigma E25. Kind of making a haze and blending that up towards my brow bone. Okay, so looking at this palette, they don't really have a matte neutral highlight shade, and that's a lot what I look for in a palette, so I do see that that's kind of missing. I do want to swatch the two shades that I feel like are decent highlight shades. The shade right here and this one right here, and that is called Solstice. Right there reminds me of MAC's Naked Lunch a little. And this shade right here is called Spellbinding, and it's a very pale yellow with a sheen to it, like almost like a, I would say like a white gold. Very, very pigmented, creamy and smooth, and blends beautifully. Between the two of those, they are neutral, but they are shimmery. And this is a very, very pale gold. It's very pigmented, so it'd be perfect like for the center of your lids. But for like a brow bone highlight, I don't really see like a matte brow bone highlight in this palette, which is what I really do like. But I'm going to go in with the Solstice color right here, and I'm just going to kind of lightly dust that on my upper brow bone. I'm going to use a large fluff brush, E50 from Sigma. So we're just going to lightly kind of press that in. So if you were going for an all matte look, you'd probably have to reach for a highlight color from a different palette. Okay, now I'm going to take this camel brown color that we swatched, this one right here. It's called Sensational, and I'm going to use a Firm Blender E44 brush. I'm just going to run that in the crease. This is going to give, like, put it right in the crease, and then on the outer corner, just kind of do circular motions, and then blend it in. This is like a very unique color to me, so I really was curious. I mean, this is so pigmented, so you really do have to be careful with that. I'm gonna have to blend that out. I'm just gonna take my blending brush and really just... Okay, right on the outer corners here, I'm gonna take this color called Radiant right here. It's like almost like a burnt shimmer orange. And I'm just going to kind of press that on the outer portion. And I'm using this E34 domed utility brush. We're going to take that burnt orange color and just kind of press it. And go back in with the blending brush. Okay, now under my eyes, I'm going to take this original brown color that we used, this matte color right here, on a short shader Sigma E20 brush, and I'm just going to press that into the lash line. And I wanted to keep the lids matte for now, and then I was going to go back in and put one of the shimmer shades under the eye on top of that. I'm just going to use this to really kind of smoke it out. Okay, then I'm going to go into this shade right here. It's called Languid. It's like a bronze, a really beautiful shimmery bronze color. And I'm going to go under the lash line with that. Okay, I'd like to finish swatching the rest of this palette before I finish my eyes, because we're going to move on to some other products. So I'm just going to finish swatching right here. This color is called Hiatus. It is a matte pink color. I swatched this one already over here. This is like almost like a gold color with like a hint of rose to it. Really, really shimmery, smooth, and beautiful. And then I swatched this one right here, over there. I've also swatched this one right here, right there. This shade right here is that color right there. It's called 10. And it looks like it is a taupe shade, satin taupe color right there. And then this shade right here is right there. And this shade right here is right there. This shade right here is called Bloom, and it's a really beautiful, I would say like corally orange color. It does have a slight sheen to it, but I don't know if it will completely transfer on the eyes. This shade right here is called Fay, and it's almost like a burgundy with some red shimmer in it. These are all incredibly soft and are swatching beautifully. I have not come across one shade at this point that I would say does not swatch really nicely. And then this last shade right here is called 162, and it's like a taupe, a gray taupe, almost like a hint of purple sheen to it. Very, very smooth and beautiful and very pigmented. I love the eyeshadow colors in it, and I love the swatches. If I had to say something negative, I would say there's not super deep dark brown to or black that's matte to smoke it out. There's not a whole lot of, these are really the two deepest colors, then the mid-tone browns. So there's not a lot of deep darkening shades, and there's not a matte highlight. So between those two things, but I do love the colors in this palette. I just know that when I'm reaching for it, I'll probably have to reach outside of the palette to complete a look, just if I'm going for, you know, a matte brow bone and something to darken up the outer corner. Next product up are inner rim brighteners. They have 3 colors and they retail for $9. So the first color up is like a, I would say like a more pinky color, and this one is called Final Touch. Swatch is very, very creamy. These are all wooden, so they would need to be sharpened. They're not retractable. Next one up is called Unclouded, and this is a very, it's a matte white. This one is also a matte shade as well, so a pink and a white. And then the last one is more of a peach shade, and this one is called Polished. So you have your pink, your white, and your peach, and they all swatch very, very nicely. Okay, for this look that I have today, I'm gonna go with the Final Touch color, which is the more pinky one, and I'm just going to put that right in my waterline. So they apply pretty nicely to the waterline. This just brightens up your eyes, makes you appear more awake. For my eyeliner, now this isn't part of the collection, but this is one of Sigma's newer products. It's their gel eyeliners, and this is in Stunningly Ladylike. It is a deep, deep brown shade, and I'm using their Winged Liner E06 brush. Super, super tiny tip, and it is like on an angle, so it gives that like really nice perfect wing. So I'm just going to create a little bit of a wing liner on my upper lash line. And okay, the next products up are these cheek shimmers. Now they come in 3 colors, and they can be used to highlight your face. They're really beautiful colors, almost like a cream blush, but they have a lot of shimmer and sheen to them. This one is in Superb Shimmer Cream. So it's a really beautiful peachy pink color. It has a golden sheen to it. These really don't apply super pigmented. They're really just a really nice, very silky, as you can see right there, glowy product. The next 2 are Sultry, which is a bronze shade. So that would be used almost more as like a bronzer. And the last one is Brilliant, which is more of like a highlight. So I'd say one you could almost use as a blush. One is definitely a highlight shade, and one is more of a bronzy shade. That one is Brilliant right there. Okay, so for my cheeks, I'm gonna go in with this Superb shade, and I'm just gonna use my finger, honestly, to apply it and just kind of blend it in and see what kind of pigmentation or glow. I think that gave a lot of color to the cheeks, but still like a fresh glow. I really like that product. It doesn't feel sticky or gross or wet on my cheeks, so I really, really like the fact that it kind of sets and doesn't really, it looks good. It does give that like inner glow. I'm just gonna top it, like just for sake of the video, I'm gonna use the highlight shade. And I'm just going to top that right here. Okay, these are nice. Out of the three of them, I do like the Superb Cream Shimmer Cream. I think that that one is the most universal because it's like a blushy, really nice glow, and I think you can get the glow. I've tried other highlighters that I like more, but I think that this Superb color is like the all over one that I would really recommend. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the loose shimmers. These are loose. They have 5 of these. They're calling loose shimmers. These are meant to use all over your face if you'd like, as an eyeshadow, mixed with your lip gloss. It's supposed to be a universal, just like shimmer product. I find for the eyes, they are a little bit dry and need a lot of almost like a mixing solution to kind of get a really good pigmented swatch, but that's the first one. They would probably be better as like an all over dusting glow. Okay, the second color is called Ravishing, and it's like a, I would say almost like a peachy white with some shimmer. This will probably be one that you could use all over your face. It's not pigmented enough to use for like packing on as an eyeshadow. This next one is called Midsummer, and I would say this is probably the most pigmented of them. It's right here. It's a beautiful like bronzy shade. You could probably use this on your eyes and it would give you the most pigmentation. Again, I would put it on top of a base. So I sprayed Fix Plus and patted it, and that's what I'm using for these swatches. So it definitely needs a base. These are, since they're made to be used all over the face as well, they're not like pigments that you would expect. They're more of like, they're called like loose shimmers. This next color is called Gilded, and it is a gold. This would be a really pretty highlight, a gold highlight. This last shade is called Ambrosia, and it's like a light pink. Again, I think these are a little bit of a miss for me because there's not a lot of people that are gonna dust a shimmer powder on an everyday basis all over their face. Typically, you know, some of these colors, like only a few of them would be great highlight colors. The rest are almost too pigmented, but then not pigmented enough for eyeshadow. This is kind of like a lost in translation product for me. So if I would be recommending products, I probably wouldn't pick any of these up. But if you're someone who loves like a light dusting of a shimmer loose powder, they are some really beautiful colors, so these would be a product for you. The last product are lip glosses, and these retail for $10. I'm gonna go ahead and first put this pink color on because it has caught my eye. This is called Chill Out Lip Vex, and so Lip Vex lip gloss. They have a wand applicator, like a brush applicator, and they're extremely pigmented. That's a really pretty color, but you guys know I love these like blue toned pinks. Like I said, this color is called Chill Out. I'm just gonna swatch it. Almost like a lip lacquer. Very, very pigmented cream shade, this pink one. These lip vexes are supposed to create a pigmented, smooth, and creamy finish. So that is the first one. Next color is called Vivid, and this is like a vivid coral color. Again, it is that cream finish, no shimmer in it. So that is called Vivid right there. The next one is called Skinny Dip, and it's like a really pretty peach, like almost like a smoked peach color. Reminds me of Revlon's smoked peach lipstick. Those three are probably my favorite. Then we're getting into the glosses that have shimmer in them. The Sigma glosses that have shimmer in them are a little bit too shimmery for me. This is a gorgeous color. I wish it were an eyeshadow. This is called Dazzling. The shimmer in it, you can feel it, and it's almost like too thick of a consistency. It's like it's too much shimmer in it, and it looks like bronzy on the lips. Originally, I thought this was going to be my favorite color. It just didn't translate for me. But I mean, if you are deeper complected, it might look beautiful on you. And then this is called Steady Glow, and it's like an orange tangerine color with some shimmer in it. Again, I prefer the lip glosses that do not have a shimmer in it, but this is a really beautiful peachy color. I just don't like the gritty feeling of shimmer, and these tend to have that for me. Okay, so overall, my impressions are, I love the 3 lip glosses that do not have any shimmer in them. I think they're beautiful colors, and I like the opacity and the pigmentation. I would probably only pick up, if it were me, the Superb color of these shimmer creams, because I like the glow that it gives, but I don't think I need like a highlight shade and a shimmery bronze shade. But again, if you have a deeper complexion, you might like the bronze color, but I particularly liked the Superb one as a blush. The loose shimmers I would skip just because I personally don't have a need for them, but if you do, they might be nice for an all over dusting. And the palette was amazing to me. I loved this palette. I really liked the color. I would recommend the palette. I really liked the inner rim products. Those were nice and creamy and looked like they applied, so really nice. So if you're looking for a cheaper alternative for an inner rim product, I would try those out. I hope this was helpful to you guys. Leave any questions that you have down below. I will link all the products if you're interested in any of them and all the information. I will also leave a coupon code down below if you guys are interested in 10% off your order. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Mwah.